Welcome back to Street Talk. Me and Jake both just watched Dune in theaters. I watched it in IMAX. Jake, I'm not sure about you. I'm pretty sure.
I did. I got in there.
Same.
I snuck in
Nice.
IMAX.
Let's go. I had to go to the 3:30 because I checked 7 like 3 days ago, and no seats. The only place you could sit was just front row, and I was not gonna do that for the IMAX, like because it's 70 millimeter, like 70 millimeter print, so that whole screen's filled up. That was the first time I've been in that.
I
Like
think
that
some
venue like
people
that.
have been to an IMAX theater before. They know the
Well, Jake,
experience.
I've
and
been
it's
to
not-
that too, but I saw Oppenheimer in like some kind of trash theater, so I haven't actually seen.
You haven't been in
movie like
IMAX
that
in a while?
IMAX, like, well, I've been in IMAX, but it's just not like IMAX format. Like that was shot for IMAX, so the whole big screen is filled up. Like I
Got it.
saw Poor Things in that theater, and it was like not all the way. So,
Oh,
but
that makes
dude,
sense.
it was awesome. It was
It's a
awesome.
wild ride. It's a long. It was I. You said something in the last episode when we were on here live about you not expecting it to end when it does, and I kept thinking
Yeah.
it was gonna keep ending, and it didn't. And yeah, so that was in the back of my mind. I appreciate you letting me know.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that was a roller coaster. They
It was.
progressed pretty heavily through the story. They
I know. It was
and they
awesome.
left it on a good cliffhanger, not one that you kind of are upset about. It like really was the end of that era of the story, and then it was on to the next. And so I felt like it was a
Yeah.
good time to part the way it did.
Yeah, it's really just like the tip of the iceberg too. Like there's still like all these other houses we don't know who like came in at the end. This is a spoiler review, so if you're gonna go watch the movie, I mean you can stick around if you want to, but we're probably gonna dive into some things that happened in the movie. But yeah, the way they left it off, like we're open to this whole new world, like the rest of the galaxy. Like they brought up like the fate of the galaxy is in his hands or whatever. We haven't even seen the galaxy yet, so I'm excited to like possibly explore it in some other movies, and we definitely know there's going to be another one after that one. So
Oh yeah, there's definitely 3. You're talking like it's gonna be the next Star Wars. Like we got Galaxy talk. I don't know about that.
they brought up galaxy within the movie. Like he's like the galaxy is like, and I was like, oh, we're saying galaxy out here, not just Arrakis.
Yeah.
Chase, get you.
Yeah, Chase, sorry about it, bro. You're gonna have to wait. You have to watch this one
Boba?
back. Boba. Yep.
Boba. Yep. All right.
That's real.
Yeah, the premise, Jake. I'm just gonna rattle it off real quick.
Okay.
The boy Timothy Chalamet, he's taking care of this planet. The bad guys, aka, not off to a good start here, but the Harkonnens are trying to take over Arrakis, and he's trying to defend it. That's basically the premise of the movie. I was gonna read the blurb, but I don't want to get too like into the weeds here. But yeah, I mean,
There's
it
a
was pretty
lot.
basic
Well,
premise.
it was a focus on Paul, our main character, Timothy Chalamet, trying to figure out what he's gonna do, see if he earns his stripes. And obviously, it goes in a direction that you wouldn't really expect at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
I appreciated the way that they cut. It felt kind of abrupt because I know that they're trying to add a lot in. Like the time lapse between him like being there for the first day when he pulls up on the squad, to like when he's like starting to get like go through like the rituals and whatnot. I
mean,
felt like that was
in the
pretty
last-
rushed, but I'm glad it was at the same time because I didn't want to have to like.
You talking about
Keep
the
it-
montage sequence when he was like he kept like going in and taking out the spice collector things?
Yeah, that part, and then the riding of the worm that's in the trailer, so that's not a
Yeah.
spoiler.
That was like the end of the training montage, the Rocky training montage. That was the end of that.
Yeah,
That was kind of like the rite of passage. Like you are one of the sand people.
yeah, I know. I was just saying I felt like it was really sped up, and I was really confused. We're just gonna get to the confusion parts because they're just kind of coming to me.
Right.
Why is the Roland guy, Josh Roland, or what is that his name?
Brolin?
No, that Roland is not. Yeah,
Josh
Brolin
Brolin.
is Josh Brolin.
Yeah, come on.
Was confused how he managed to make it back. He explained briefly, but I was confused still because
Yeah,
he was running one of
I
those
don't
rigs.
remember. He was definitely. I thought in my head he was dead. But I'm
We
glad.
never saw him
I'm glad he
die,
pulled
but
up.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But he
yeah.
seemed like he was working for the bad guys, but I don't know if he was or not, or he was just getting some spice for himself. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Well,
I was a little confused.
he's like super war mind. Like his mindset is war. And one thing I mentioned, I was like, he kind of reminded me of that general in Doctor Strangelove, who's like ready to like set the rockets off,
Yeah,
and he's like explaining like all the
Chair
stuff. He's like,
guard.
oh, you gotta get in there, you gotta see it. You gotta.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta watch it sometime. And that was a funny moment. I love that him and Javier Bardem, who's in No Country for Old Men, they
yeah.
had a little like moment together on screen, and they were kind of butting heads a little bit. And I feel like it was kind of a nod to No Country, even though like it probably like wasn't meant to be that in the story. But everyone who was watching it, like that's definitely going on in their heads.
I think there was more issue with Zendaya's character and Josh more than Javier and him.
I
You
know,
know?
but it was a brief moment. It was kind of like a fun.
It was
like,
cool having those guys stand next to each other in the same movie, like because they haven't been in the
Yeah,
same frame together in a while. Javier's character was hilarious. Is that his
I
name?
know he was. Yeah, he was. Well, no, that's his name in real life. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Javier.
yeah.
Yep.
That was like the biggest pops in my theater where his moments were like he was talking about the prophecy a bunch at the beginning, and
Yeah.
everybody was popping. But
And
then
he's
by
like
the end,
the biggest like
he stayed consistent throughout,
yeah,
and
he's the
everybody
biggest
took him
like
serious at the end.
messiah junkie. Like he's like super in with it. And I
Yeah.
loved how he was like talking with the other guys. He's like, dude, he's like so humble. Like this is like
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
how it was supposed to be.
yeah, yep,
And he was my standout. I have standout actors right here, and he actually made the movie like for me. Like he made it super enjoyable. Like I walked out of that theater, I'm like, Javier's a dog. Like I want to see him in more things.
yeah. He did a great job. How about his
And
range?
then yeah,
From
I know.
his bad guy character to be this guy
Yeah.
that's like, I don't know. He's silent, but he's like
He's
like,
funny,
I don't know,
serious,
relatable.
Like, he's just like he's such a cool like elder of the tribe. Like he's a cool like he's the cool dad. Like
Yeah,
he's your friend's cool dad. Like in this
I
movie.
think it's interesting how his attitude shifts from being this super stone cold guy in the first movie into the second movie where he's like once he sees signs of this guy being the possible messiah, he gets all like excited about it. Like that character trait didn't come out until this movie, and so like that was cool to see his kind of character development there as well.
Yeah,
If you want to try to connect both the movies, because if you remember, he came in like no smile on his face.
yeah,
That wasn't happy people were taking over.
yeah. I have that in my notes. His character development. I was gonna say the character development as a whole, like within multiple characters, kind of made this movie special. Like compared to the last movie.
Yeah, a lot of
The
lot
four
of
people
different characters.
I was gonna mention were Timothy Chalamet. Obviously, I'm just gonna say he crushed his role. I was kind of like unsure about him being like main guy. Like he's got to like take charge at some point, and he did it really well. He picked up that spear, and he was just like telling the people how it was, and I believed him. Being in the
Yeah,
audience,
bro.
I was like,
Well, it
this
also
guy is
helps.
legit.
It also helps that like most of his leadership role doesn't really come into full effect. Spoiler alert for anybody that is watching. We're doing spoilers here. It's in the title. You should know. The most of his like commanding side of his character comes after he drinks the water of life or whatever.
Yeah,
And that makes it more believable because there's some other like alternate force that's like within him that you're just trying to like,
Yeah.
as a viewer, you're like, this guy is a different guy than he was. So I think it was interesting. That's what sold it like more for me than I would have otherwise. If
No,
you
yeah,
would
it
just
definitely
started
did.
barking orders.
Because he was, like I said earlier, uh, Javier Bardem's character was saying how he was like this humble guy. He was not humble after he took a sip of that worm juice. I tell you what. And
Yeah, he
the
was like,
mom, when after she drank it too, was like full blown nuts. I thought she was going to
she's
be
part
an
of the
issue, and
problem.
then she ended up.
She is.
I thought
She
she
is
was
an
gonna.
issue.
She's definitely going to be an issue in the next movie.
Yeah, she's an issue.
But yeah, like she seemed like somewhat normal, but I thought she like straight up lost her mind, and she was like talking to the. That was one of my negatives. I was like, we're talking to this like.
Hey,
Embryo.
there's
Like, what are
some
we doing?
there's some stuff we don't know about that's going in the works.
Yeah.
That they're trying to let us know about. It's like a second movie. They're gonna start introducing some new things. The first one was kind of like a feeler, set the scene. This one, they were coming at us full force with like a bunch of lore, bunch of like of this story of Paul. So it's
Yeah.
cool.
I feel like compared to like Star Wars, I feel like that's like a comparison like a lot of people draw. Like space, you have a chosen one. Like there's this kid who has to like grow up quick. I think it's pretty similar, but I'd say for like the average viewer, like this one's like more complex. Like you kind of have to be like more dialed in. There's a lot of names to remember, a lot of politics going on, a lot of different houses. You got to know like where their loyalties lie, and then there's like some witches in the background that are like trying to pull the strings. There's just a lot of things going on.
It's complicated, but that's what makes it good because you don't really like your brain's only big enough to kind of consider every other possibility because I don't know. There's just a lot of things going a lot of different ways, especially with those witches and stuff that you mentioned. It's super complex, and I would have said the same thing. It was complex like 2 hours in, and then we had a whole nother hour, and it kept going and kept changing. What I thought like the ending of the trilogy might be, like thinking ahead, trying to predict. I think they left it in a good spot though. I think it was fun. Theaters were packed by the way too.
Oh yeah, absolutely packed. I mean, I was some guy like set his stuff in my seat. I had to like get in there and be like, hey, like I'm sitting.
You had to let him know.
Yeah, he was cool though. That guy was like clapping and stuff, and he was like laughing. And he was like one of those guys who was wearing like one of those golf hats, and he was like very, very invested. And dude, as we were walking out, he was like, "Woo!" Like he was
talking about like a Redditor.
Like,
he's like a Redditor guy.
Yeah. Like he was juiced up. Like
had his fedora on.
He was like, "Woo, woo!" He did that shit like 6 times when we were walking out of the theater, and I was like, "All right, like I'm getting the general consensus out of this guy right here." But I was going to go through the factions real quick just so everyone's on a little baseline. Everyone kind of understands what we're talking about here. Let me know,
too, because I got to remember.
Yeah, I'm letting Jake know. I had to let myself know. I had to do some research here. The House of Harkonnen is the evil guys. That's Austin Butler's character, who I wasn't like too big of a fan of. Stellan Skarsgård as well. That might be a hot take on that guy, but... and then we got the Fremen, who are the rats, as the Harkonnens call them, but they're the sand people. They're the badass, the Javier Bardem guys. He's like one of the leaders of the Fremen. And then we got the House of Atreides, which is it's just Paul and his mom are the only one left in that house because they all died in the first one. Yep, and Brolin. Good call. And then we have the Bene Gesserit, which is the witches. They're like the people who possess the power.
Are they a species or are they a faction?
I haven't been the faction because they're like... It's basically like joining like a witch squad.
A little cult gang.
Yeah. But they like can use the voice.
Yeah.
That's like the Force equivalent within this movie.
Yeah.
And I actually wish they kind of implemented a little bit more. I mean, they definitely had it, but I was gonna say we saw Austin Butler's character kind of fall victim to the voice, like with that one chick who was the witch who was kind of seduced him, and I think Paul could have taken advantage of like we'll
snuffed out.
Well, Well, the kid, that chick has his kid now, so that guy's gonna be an issue for the daughter.
Good call.
At the same time, yeah. And then the other houses, we don't really know yet, but they all pulled up at the end, and they're like, "You can't be emperor," and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be emperor anyway." So, and the house that the all right, guys, I'm sorry.
You're
The
good.
house
Get into it.
that Paul Atreides is like marrying. He goes to marry. Spoiler. Is the House of Korean, which is where the emperor guy is.
Okay, didn't know that
Christopher
name.
Walden.
Now we know.
Yeah, Christopher Walden.
Walken? Was it
Walken.
Walden or?
Walken. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. He's awesome. I love his voice.
I could hear him talking in 4 words every time he talked.
Yeah,
he was doing. He's like the Jesuits are the people that I like to talk to. And I was like, I thought he was really out of place, but it was fine. I know,
but he does have a good face to be an emperor, like kind of like an evil person. And then speaking of evil people, Austin Butler, as I mentioned, he played Fade Ratha Harkonnen, who's the nephew of Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, who's the big fat guy who flies. Yeah, so I heard Elvis come out of his voice a couple times throughout this movie. Yeah, I could hear it on it. I wasn't like trying to hear it, but I could definitely I got some little tones. I'm just gonna say
I thought he did fine, man.
I was not. I think he did okay, but I was not intimidated by him. Like I know he's like, give me my knife, and then he's like slicing people's throats, but like, let's get a cool, like a bad guy I'm actually like scared of. Like he's like too skinny. Like, I mean he was jacked in that one scene with his shirt off, but he wasn't doing it for me. He wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, if you're taking your shirt off in the movie,
you did it right, bro.
Like, you're going on all the stuff.
Yeah, it was like 4 months of work
out
right
with
there.
This guy, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I thought he did a good job. I always like a character that's like a wild card, and I thought they added to that a little bit. On a side note, I thought I was really disappointed with what's his name's character, Batista. Yeah. I was really disappointed with his character. He was kind of weak in this, and I thought he had like more potential as a bad guy, like you're saying.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like when you're comparing those two guys, obviously Batista's gonna be a more intimidating figure because he's just massive, but he showed some weakness in this one, and hey. He decided not to turn his back that second time, and
dude, he was getting smacked around the whole movie.
Dude, he fucking ran away when he saw little ass Timothy Chalamet pulling up on him. He retreated, bro. I thought that was crazy. I was like, how are you running away right now?
I like how he was like Josh Brolin's character. He was like, "Oh, look who decided to come back to life," and then he just got like, boom, take him out.
Yeah, they were trying to implement a little bit of, this is Game of Thrones. You don't know like how quick somebody's just going to be gone because we got a lot of people to feed into the script here. They definitely made some more space for some more houses, Ty, like you're saying. So
yeah,
they did away with some of these houses, and there's going to be new ones emerging. I'm excited to see the new villains. I'm excited to see Zendaya's new story. Hopefully she finds some fucking guys that were hiding out that didn't know anything about what was going on that planet, rallies them. I got a feeling she's going to be the leader of the Sand People. And I'm just making predictions.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Hey,
do you want to talk about what you
in
think?
The Twitch chat.
What's going on?
This guy from Germany is like spamming us.
Antonio, what's up, bro?
He's saying like, what's the problem? Let's talk, huh? Hey, do you know what the last name Herbstreit means? Because that's our last name, and it's apparently German. And
Anthony, my bad.
Let's talk. Okay. Probably Anthony.
Yeah, probably Anthony. I just immediately
sorry,
go.
dude.
I
You
watched
went straight
Sopranos.
to
I'm sorry.
Italian. Yeah. What can you say there? But all right, let's get back to this here. Unless Anthony wants to say something, but all right, standout actors, Jake. We already covered it. Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Paul Atreides, and then they coined the name for him, Madib, which was actually a cool. Like I thought it was cool that they named him. It was kind of like felt like Avatar in that sense, where they welcome him into their culture, and it's a cool name of like that little mouse that they showed a couple times. And
Yeah, that was a good touch.
The mouse like apparently generates its own water, so like I thought that was like a cool parallel that they did there.
Yeah, they really
Jonathan
explained that
Riddle.
one for us.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Jonathan Riddle. He's in one of my marketing classes. But
He
he's out,
sounds like he messes with it. Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, exceeded my expectations too.
We're
even got
trying
in
to
the
break
ring
it all
yet,
down because it's insane like how much happened over the course of the 3 hours that we were in there. It was
let's go.
it's a lot to process, so we're just doing it on camera, you know.
Let's go, Jonathan. I'm pumped he's in here.
He wants to talk on Discord.
All right, you cover Twitch, I'll cover this.
No.
All right. He
You
wants to
don't-
like get in here.
I don't. Yeah, I think he
get
wants
in
to
here
like
and
he
talk.
wants to voice his opinions here.
Jonathan said he's going to see the movie again next week. That's a good call. We're still trying to get like all of our thoughts together here. Like it's tough. Like just getting out of the theater, you just watched like over 2.5 hour movie, and we're just trying to break it down a little bit. But
Yeah.
come join along. You mentioned some points you liked in the movie. Like we'll talk about it if you want to. That would be awesome. But let's keep going down with these standout actors. Rebecca Ferguson as like the witch lady, Timmy's mom.
Okay. Yeah. The mom of Paul.
Dude,
Got it.
I like the look with the tattoos on the face.
Yeah, the swag.
She definitely lost her mind after she drank the juice of life, water of life.
Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna say. That was like a really dark part of the movie. That like, dude, that old lady whose eyes rolled back and like all that, like that was just like kind of a weird time.
So do we not know if she knew how big of a deal this was that she was doing this ritual?
Yeah, she did. She
just
they
like,
threw her
fuck
in
it.
there.
She's like,
I
it's
mean,
either
it's
death or
part of the
this. It's cool.
It's part of the prophecy, dude. I mean,
Yeah, and then
that's- we
she.
just gotta. I guess we gotta do it.
Yeah, I guess she like thought that she was strong because she did those like the box insert, the hand. Like I can do anything after
Yeah.
that. Yeah, this was on another
Yeah.
level.
Well, her body was like sprawling. I was like,
Didn't
oh my
even.
gosh.
Can we talk about how she didn't even think about the baby? Like how this might like affect like the childbirth? Like, can we not wait a few
what
months
we doing?
before we proceed with
I
this?
think she had no clue, dude. She had no idea. And then her eyes were open to everything after that.
Yeah.
And then the baby's like, oh, hold up, let me talk real quick. Let me check on Paul. Like, Paul, why are you doing this?
Yeah. I was so confused how that was going to come back. Because at the beginning of the movie it opens like with Paul talking to the embryo. I'm like, what are we looking at right now? Tadpole? What the hell? And it came back in a strong way. And then I think we saw her face in like one of his dreams, and it might have been the girl from like Queen's Gambit or something.
No,
Am
it
I
is.
tripping?
It's Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah.
Okay.
She's like that's like the sister grown up.
Yeah.
And they'll probably do what I think they're gonna do. This next one's called Dune 3, but it's Dune Messiah. Which is pretty cool. Timothy's gonna get active in that one as well. But I think they're gonna do a like follow-up one like after the trilogy with Anya Taylor-Joy. Like she's gonna be like kind of the center of the story after that.
Yeah, because she's got a lot going for her before she's even born. She's like part Harkonnen, part Atreides, just like Paul.
Part witch.
She literally has everything that Paul has just acquired, and she hasn't even come out the womb yet. So like, She might be a weapon.
No, she
like
definitely
got
is.
the juice.
I mean,
got the juice in her.
Dude, she's like, calling shots.
She's got a little telepathic voice action. Maybe she has the voice in the womb. Is that what's happening?
I think that's what's going on. That's what's going on.
Did we just break something?
Yeah.
See, this is why we talk about it, because then we start.
Yeah. We're breaking it down to ourselves here. Here we go. Yeah, finding out that his mom was Harkonnen was crazy, definitely. Yeah, I that's kind of like the equivalent to like Luke finding out Darth Vader was his father, like within this Dune trilogy here. We knew there was going to be some kind of backstabbing or some kind of twist like that. Like, definitely to come out. Dang, Zach.
Zach, what do you expect?
Zach, we told you not to click on it. Here we go.
Why is spoilers not in the title?
Why
is spoilers not in the title? It's not.
It's on the Jake.
Yeah, but as soon as they click on it, they don't see that it's spoiler.
It's in the title, and it's
do
on
spoiler with
thumbnail.
asterisks in the title, Tye. Okay,
it's on the thumbnail, dude.
Now we know.
Oh well. All right, let's go to some of the best moments. All right, that opening sequence, Jake. Let's talk about it. These dudes pull up.
You remember?
There's some black stormtroopers who can't move very quick. They're like hiding right on that ridge. And
yeah.
Paul's laying down.
Got it.
And I thought that was a cool sequence. And one thing I want to say about this movie is its action was like really unique. Like, there was like a lot of unique different ways they did like action sequences. It wasn't just a bunch of sword battles. Like, let me just go through it here. I was gonna say, where is it, dude?
Zach said.
I mean, I can.
Quit crying. Quit your crying. Dude, is Jonathan still in here? I want to ask him if he. So when you were watching it, I just have to say something about like the lighting and how they did a good job with the transitioning, like from a lot of the scenes with the Emperor and like the House of Harkonnen, I think it is. They were like talking in the dark, breaking it down, trying to move the story forward. Every time it cut to Dune, like the Dune planet, I felt like my eyes were adjusting heavily, and I thought that was intentional. I thought it was intentional. I was like, damn,
it's definitely dark and light, like in a.
They're trying to let you know.
Sense.
They're trying to let you know.
In a literal sense, and they even had the black and white sequence, with Austin Butler like doing like the gladiator stuff. I thought that was a super cool sequence. But as I was saying, like the different action sequences at the beginning, we have like the kind of sneak up portion. We think they're about to get caught, and then they like fully climb up this like rock wall. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, this is just kind of out of nowhere, and then they just start getting blasted through the head.
Oh, we're talking about that now. Yeah, it was cool.
I was gonna cover the different action aspects. Like, it wasn't just sword battling. And then there was also, I loved
equipment.
One of my favorite scenes was like the helicopter sequence when Zendaya is trying to like get her RPG reloaded, and they're like hiding under the like sand crawler or whatever. I thought that was super cool.
Have you ever seen CinemaSins, Tye? You ever seen CinemaSins? It's like a YouTube channel that breaks down what they did wrong.
Yeah.
So like,
what do you think they did wrong there?
So like, they have all this battling with their ground troops, and this crazy action sequence happens. Zendaya, like, Paul almost dies. Boom, we get that helicopter down. Then they're like, okay, now we can point the lasers at the ship and just blow it up like that. And I was like, wait, why didn't we use the lasers on the fucking helicopters? I was really confused by that. Do you remember the blue lasers?
Yeah.
They're coming in, I was like, bro, we had that the whole time. And I
mean, they're trying to preserve resources. Hey, I don't know.
Yeah, no, maybe it's hard to aim that thing, but it seemed like it was a missed opportunity to not have some people die. They're trying to make
a movie. Yeah, I don't know if the lasers moved. I think they just
but it's part of my existence to point out things like that. Okay.
All right. Well, I thought the sequence was cool. I thought it was like fun.
Didn't think it was all right.
Dude, that she turned around and just shot that dude like into the side of the thing.
Yeah, that was cool. That was good aim. That was good shit.
Good aim. Good aim.
Yeah. Didn't really think about that one because it could have exploded like right up on him. like it does in
Yeah.
Helldivers 2. But hey,
Oh baby.
he rode the
Yeah.
wave. Good aim,
Good aim.
Pots. Pots, it
And
was a good
then
movie. You should check it out. But get out of here because
yeah.
we're talking spoilers, all right?
Yeah, get out of
Back
here
it up.
before
Back it up.
before it gets ugly. And then I was also gonna bring up the sandworms, Jake. I mean, they're probably the star of the show of this movie. There's such cool sequences, and I want to say the sound design for this movie, like
Oh yeah.
obviously the Hans Zimmer score. We haven't even talked about that yet, but the sound
Oh,
design
baby.
for this movie. I mean, we got the sand, and then like the rumbling of the worm in the distance, and then when Timmy hooks onto that thing, that first time, like that was
That was a sick sequence, man.
that was pure cinema right there. That was some top tier action.
yeah,
and he's like-
it was just all about the action.
You can like see, does it like breathe through its like gills? Like,
No,
you
I
could,
think
like, see like it's
The reason they left
things
those,
pulled up.
yeah, the reason they added that is to try to show you this thing isn't just moving at its own free will now. He's got a little control of it. So he's pulling
Yeah.
up on it to make sure the thing didn't dive down. So that's what the ridges were. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked the way that whole process went. And I loved that it was like happened to be the biggest word like they'd seen possibly ever, the way that they described it.
I know, dude. It looked so big. It looked so big.
The
on
way
screen.
that IMAX theater fucking cooked, like the audio, like the way
was
that
like- I
thing
was
was,
like-
charging.
Yeah.
I was so pumped. I was so
Dude,
pumped. I was like, this is why we came.
Yeah, I had a
Sick.
smile on my face like a little kid a couple times during that movie. I was just like, whoa.
I had a
like,
few
this
chill
is just-
moments. I was like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But it wasn't like any like stand up cheer type shit. I mean, that's hard to do.
No.
This one
Yeah,
was
that is
like
tough.
this one was a mind bender, so everybody was really locked in trying to like process the story, I think.
Yeah.
So that was a part of it.
Jake, what do you think about how they would suck the water out of the enemy soldiers to like rehydrate themselves?
I mean, that's
And
what
then
they
this-
sounded like they wanted to do with Paul at the beginning of the end of the first
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
keeping it going
And then-
consistently.
With their own soldiers, they take the water out and pour it in that like big pond. Like, I thought
Yeah,
that was
bro.
super cool.
I
That
thought that
just
was a
like
cool
adds the
moment.
elements to the world building. Like you feel like these are real. This is like a real tribe. Like they're very like cultural and like have a lot of beliefs, and they think he's the Messiah, and they're like teaching him his ways. Like it's you love to see like, because it's almost like we're getting taught the culture at the. I mean, that's the goal of the movie. We're getting taught the culture at the same time, so we like really feel like we're in
Yeah.
tune with like everything that's going on.
Yeah. Jonathan's talking about the Hans Zimmer. I mean, so it was so good that it felt like it was seamless with the movie.
did feel
like I didn't
seamless.
even like honestly, I didn't think about it. I was just invested in the story because it just adds it adds just another
Yeah.
element, but it's like it's perfectly subtle. And then
Yeah.
the score would cut out at the perfect times. It was pretty sweet.
They
I agree
completely
with you.
cut it out for the final action sequence between Austin Butler and Timothy Chalamet. What do you think about that choice to like take the audio out and just have like the swords clashing? Do you think that was
Yeah, I think it was a good choice. Both those actors just I don't see as like warriors, so like it's just like it's hard.
That's what I was thinking too.
But like I said, the him taking the sip of the water that makes him go a little insano mode. It adds the element, and then
Yeah.
obviously Austin Butler's character has his own agenda and his like craziness, but like at the same time he was struggling with a guy that looked like he was 40 and he like ran like a corner store. I don't know. It was like why was that the guy that they didn't drug if they were really trying to test this guy in the arena,
I know.
I was like-
that guy was pretty cool.
That guy didn't even seem like he was much of a threat.
No,
Maybe that's why
yeah,
they did it.
That kind of put me like in the house of like I don't know about him being the bad guy if he can't just like absolutely dominate.
It's
A
like
guy
he
that's
was-
like
Yeah, he looked like the army's cook. He didn't even look like a like a guy who battled. Nothing
Yeah.
against that guy, but like you got casted pretty difficult. I thought it was originally maybe the doctor that ratted out them in the first Dune, but he got dropped in the first Dune, so it wasn't him. They could have picked anybody, and they picked this guy, and that was that was not a good choice in my opinion. So,
All right, Jake, I'm gonna stop you there.
That's it.
So Jonathan made a good point in here. It was cool to see the difference, like kind of building to like feeling like we're in this world between the southern and the northern culture of like the land, like kind of the northerners and their beliefs compared to like the south, and like how some of them believed that he was the Messiah, some of them like weren't easily swayed, but then by the end of that thing they were all like bowing down and dialed in. There's a lot of bowing down in that movie. That's like kind of like the
powers, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal of the movie. I think they said that the North was the ones that didn't believe in the Messiah, but the South was like very easily able to be swayed. Yeah. So
they had a name for him. I can't remember what they called him in the movie, but it was like basically the what would you say? Who was like the super like the Puritans almost, like in early like American culture. Like they were like super religious.
Okay.
Northeast. I don't know if you.
Oh, you're asking me.
And you probably wouldn't know. The Puritans were like dialed in with like Christianity.
The gold mason, I don't know. No. That's like Illuminati stuff.
No, I'm talking about the Puritans. Like are a group.
You're talking about the Puritans, right? I thought you were looking for another word. I know who the Puritans are. Yeah.
I was seeing if
they're super religious, like witch vibe. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that was. I don't know if that's the best reference. I think they're like a God-fearing group down there. The guy Javier, the guy who like really believes, who's in the North with him, is from the South originally. So that's how you know how those people feel about it all. That
was a good touch out of them. I was just saying it's great for world building. Like that was my original point. Just like you really feel like this is an actual place, because they're not like all in the same area. Like you have to go like miles on the back of a worm to like get to the south.
Yeah.
All right,
I wish they had a map. I wish they had a map so we could see how like are these the only two habitable places? No, on the Dune planet. Like the north and the south.
Just that planet?
Yeah, is it like all sand? Like I'm confused by that.
Well, that's what they were saying. Like
they showed an outside, so like south. We'll be able to screenshot the planet, because it seemed like they said on the equator there's the sandstorm, and that's how they separate the two. Do you remember that part?
No, that blew by me. But
yeah, I was there. I saw it. It was north, and then the equator is where the sand belt is. And there's like a big sand wall. And that they had to use the worms to get down.
All right. Yep. Dude, I gotta talk about the baby sandworm. Dude, that thing got. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just a little guy like jumping out of the sand and shit.
Can we talk about how like, small the
chick was? Over to the water. Like,
nah, bro.
She was all like, Jake,
bro.
I know.
Yeah, it was a sad moment.
Right, Jake.
And then
we just get like one bubble come up. It was like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Then Timmy Chalamet pulls up, and she hands him the vase.
But where did they get the blue liquid, Jake? Where'd they get the blue liquid?
It's already been there. Yeah, it came out of the fucking worm. If they've seen it. Worm. Yeah, if they've seen it, then they know. I'm not gonna like spoil it.
We can talk about it though, because it's a cool like aspect.
I'm glad that they got it from that.
Juice. I didn't know.
You're like, what the hell?
Where did we concocting this stuff? Pulled it out of the worm. I want to talk about how that's cool.
If you haven't seen it yet, what? If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you pay attention to when Timothée Chalamet pulls up, and see how small this girl was that hands him the vase. Because Jake, she is absolutely tiny. Because
like
to
crap on this girl for no reason.
No, because she grabs the worm and kills it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there ain't no way this small girl is dropping this thing like that.
Bro, she's
Like,
been doing it for years.
She
bro.
held that thing down in the water, bro. I was like,
she's been doing it for years, bro.
I didn't question
knows
it
how
until
to-
I saw her stature on the second shot. I was like, geez, Louise. I thought that was wild.
And then, did we understand the tear combined with the blue juice on the lip equals brought back to life? Question mark?
Yeah,
Exclamation point.
it looked like just a little Listerine play. We put, don't have the toothbrush, so we'll just, toothpaste bowl.
Hey, if it was brown Listerine, bro, he would have been up and active pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it would have the same effect, probably. It was good. I didn't really
Yeah,
get
the water
why it
life
worked, but it worked.
It was interesting. It worked. It was a tear of true love.
Because the mom didn't seem like she was going to do anything about it. She was
Jeez
just
Louise.
like, you get it done.
Out of E.
Jeez,
said, "Jeez Louise."
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Welcome.
All right, let's see what Jonathan said, bro, when they came into the hall.
Let's see. Jonathan's carrying. Jonathan, I can get you in here right now if you want to get in here. Let me know. I'll send you the link. Jonathan's got some good takes.
I'm trying to remember that part.
Let me read it.
All right, we're doing chat reads, guys. Give us a second, okay? Calm down.
Yeah, sorry.
I got another guy over here. Promotion. It's probably.
Oh, yeah. It was when, Jake, the Emperor and the whole squad, all the soldiers are standing, like, with their swords out, and then, like, you hear, like, the ruckus outside, and then the door blows up, and a bunch of sand happens, and then Paul just walks around the backside.
Yeah.
They just let him walk right past there.
Yeah, there was some
Dude,
cool shots. I'm thinking about Paul walking out in front of the army like he's Braveheart. Like when they're walking down the dune and he's like 50 paces ahead, looking pretty athletic. I was like, yeah. I like
and
that.
I love the strategy they had. I like they kind of like walk through it. Timothy's like, all right, you guys are gonna come through the middle, and then I'm gonna attack from the right, and then we're gonna nuke, and then like the worms. Like there's like this whole like tactical plan, and I really appreciated that. And one thing I like is we didn't stick like with the like a bunch of like sword action, like sword on sword action, like we had that one clip of Zendaya, but then next thing you know, like we're breaking in and we're entering. Like we didn't like waste a lot of time, like kind of like Game of Thrones does, or not Game of Thrones, but what's it called? The Lord of the Rings trilogy. Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
They like really heavily focus on like the sword battling, and I'm kind of like out of it after like 10 guys die. I'm like, all right, like.
No, I almost enjoyed the way that they did it better with just sitting with the Emperor inside, waiting for the doors to break down.
You just like hear all the shit hitting the fan, and then the nukes. Jake, did we like the nuke? The
idea that they just
nukes?
added in.
It was like, oh yeah, there's this bunker right over here.
I thought it was fine. Thought it worked all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Are they the only house with like nukes, or like they made it sound like everybody had their nuke
the only
stashes?
House like on that planet or something.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the guy would have known about that when he took it over, the big guy Vladimir. I feel like he would have known about that when he was.
They didn't leave many prisoners. Seemed like, so they probably didn't ask questions. I don't know. Yeah, that felt kind of random.
But
I agree.
It didn't like, at least like the nuke just didn't like blow everything up, and then it was just like the nuke was like, it was more like an Oppenheimer story rather than like
that was bad aim.
Yeah, what are we doing?
The rocket went straight past.
I think we used the nukes as a distraction for the worms to get involved.
Yeah,
which is an interesting play.
I thought it was sweet though, the way that they made it look like Pompeii with all the rocks coming down on the guys that are standing on their lines.
That was kind of reminded me of Battlefield 2042 trailer.
All you can do is stare at it. Yeah, bro, it's fucking sick.
But one thing I did remember that we have to remember as well is that the Emperor was supposed to stay alive. They like needed him alive. Like he had to like talk to him to like get his. They couldn't just nuke the whole thing and like it'd been over with.
Yeah, right.
So I guess it does make sense from that aspect. But the fact that like the nukes just spawned in was kind of interesting. All right.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. What else we got? What else we want to talk about?
Already talked about Hans. Jake, do you know they used for? I brought up the sound design earlier. Shout out these two guys, by the way, Theo Green and Mark Mandiani.
Nice.
They used Rice Krispie cereal for like the crunch noise on the sand.
Really?
That's how they had like yeah. So that's how they had the sound for the first movie. I'm assuming the same guys carried over for this one.
Yeah, those guys are pretty inventive over there.
I
like
it.
the way they do it.
I like the sound design on some of the big movies, like the past, there's been some good ones, like this one, Oppenheimer. The sound design was really cool, with like all the particles going around, and then obviously the score in that one.
It's definitely not
like
being
you said,
overlooked in these newer movies. I agree with you.
But sound design just adds so much.
Oh yeah,
especially in that IMAX experience, it's insane.
No doubt.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer, like Jake said, like I did hear the music a few times, but I was just so invested in like it was so in tune with the emotions of the story that it was just like really just felt like a whole experience. I wasn't like just listening to the music, like it just all kind of blended together. Next, I bet like if I watch it again and I already know what's going on, like you'll be able to take in some more.
Yeah, there's so much
senses.
to digest that it was like hard to like also appreciate that at the same time.
Yeah.
It was just all one like experience. We're just trying to lock in. It was cool.
I'm so against subtitles, but like that movie would have been kind of nice with subtitles, so I like kind of understand the story a little bit better.
You couldn't without it? You need something
No, I mean
to read?
just like there's so many like big. No, I don't need something to read. There's just so many like big names. I don't know how to spell it, so like I don't know how to like place it in my head.
You're a
like,
visual guy. I got
like
you.
if you see some of these names on this Wikipedia page here, like it's kind of outlandish. All these names you got to keep up with. Like I'm just going.
Just
off
know
the
their faces, brother. Yeah.
That's why we're. Yeah, I know. But when we're trying to describe it, it's hard. But when yeah. All right, how's let's see how Twitch is doing because it's our first time.
Some guy wants to promote our show, but he left already, so maybe. I don't know if that's real or not. It's one of those like scam early streamers.
Yeah.
Not gonna get us. Okay.
All right, Jake. Let's talk about the color. Very bright orange and blue. Boom. It was really similar to. You haven't seen it, but that Mad Max Fury Road movie.
I did watch it yesterday.
A lot of pop, but it wasn't like over the board. Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
You think?
It's alright. I thought it was alright.
How about the colors, dude? I mean,
I'm gonna have to rewatch it, bro.
The blue night sequences. Come on, Jake.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
All right, you got to rewatch it. You're falling asleep. Come on, lock it in.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I liked when it slowed down a little bit more. But I thought they had pretty dynamic characters. I liked the way that they added like the one guy that kept trying to kill himself but kept living. I thought that was good character. And I liked the girl with the black, the one that's gonna be the main character in the next one.
Yeah,
she's cool.
Furiosa. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was alright.
Jake,
But back to the color. I feel like they made it even paler in the desert. I was like longing for them to like go to
crank it up?
the green paradise. Like I felt like it was a purposeful. I felt like it was purposefully like dry. Like they made it look really dry this time around. And I was like, dude, I need to look at some water. Like I felt like my ass. I felt like the saturation was like making me want to like, bro, can we get some water involved here? Like. I don't know.
Like when he was like, imagine this sand like is water. That's like my home. And I thought.
I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, can we hit some flashbacks real quick?
Let's cut to it.
I miss looking at green. It's been 3 hours, bro. Yeah.
I wonder where they shot this. Like, I bet I could find out.
I honestly think that's part of their game plan, though. Like they were like, we're gonna purposely make this thing the most. It's like beautiful to look at, but the colors are just lacking, and that's like, I don't know. Maybe like subtly makes you pull for Paul to get him out of town at the end.
Yeah.
Because I was ready to get out of there, but Zendaya stuck around, so maybe I want to stay.
You like Zendaya? Do you like her character in this one, Jake?
Yeah.
Do you like her?
Yeah, she was good. I felt like she was a good character. I was like really surprised with the way that they
attacked.
No, but now that I'm talking about it,
the plot.
The plot is interesting with her story. I'm like curious to see where it goes from here. I am confused a little bit on why she got like so against Paul when he was like still saying the same stuff he was before the liquid, but like she was not vibing with it. There's something about that water we don't know about that like she knows about.
Well, she was like, "I'm gonna love you as long as you stay yourself" or something, and then like he wasn't himself anymore.
Yeah.
And then right before he like asked the other chick for her hand in marriage, he told her like, "Oh, always I'll love you till the day I die" or something. Yeah. And I think she walked out because she probably knew. Like I know that we're trying to act like she's mad about it. Like she definitely is. But I think it was also like a plan. It's part of like a part of the plan. Like,
oh yeah, he was talking about the possibilities. Like he was Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it was like
he's talking about Doctor Strange. He was like, "This is the way," and obviously it's a political style wedding where you're trying to get more power through the wedding.
Yeah, a lot of that going on.
That's the game plan. Seems like in these when you got houses involved and whatnot.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of like Game of Thrones, trying to figure out. It's a power like who's in. I don't know.
You obviously can tell that you can obviously tell that Paul like still likes Zendaya's character a lot. The way like they showed so many shots of him looking back at her shots, so many damn times. Yeah. I was like, okay. So they're really trying to hammer home that he still cares about her. That's why it's such a big deal that he's doing this for the greater good. But who knows if it is, because I don't trust that fucking blue water, bro. I don't know. I feel like it makes you selfish. The blue water's
kind of tough. Like, you aren't going to be, like, normal again. Like, he was like, your mom got her eye cut out when she was 6 and, like, had to do whatever. And then he's like, oh. He was just dropping truth bombs.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. I'm trying to like.
Yeah, well, he knows all. Like that's what they were like. You have to drink the liquid, and you will know like the way.
But I was confused because I thought that was dedicated just for the mom.
The water of life.
I know, but I'm saying like how they'd been doing it. Obviously, it's a phenomenon that it's unprecedented that he would drink it too. But like I was confused why he had to.
They were like. Those like spirits or whatever were like calling out to him to like do it because it was
but those were the demons that the guy Javier was trying to be like, bro, don't be listening to him. So
but it worked out, but we'll see like.
But I like that ambiguity. I like the ambiguity there. I don't know if I'm trying to pull for him or not, but I know I'm pulling for Zendaya.
Yeah.
Gang.
All right, Jake.
On gang.
All right.
No, bro, it's not like that. I just mean like I pull for her character because I feel like she still has good intention.
Jake, the Thumper prop is such a cool prop. I just had to bring it up. Like, I love that this thing's attracting the big sandworms. That was kind of like the most used thing within this movie. Like, you're like, oh, another one of these things. They're like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. No, they're cool.
I just had to mention that. That was about
shout out.
I had to acknowledge that it was just like a big part of this movie.
I'm still confused on the physics of when the worm wants to pull up and when it doesn't. I guess you got to really get in there and find a good spot. You got to be in an IMAX theater and be able to hear the bass when you punch your fist into it, and then you're like, okay, it's working.
No, it's in it. Boom, boom. on the right.
Yeah, there was a boom, boom, and I was like, oh my god, all right.
That's that sound design, bro. That's what that is. Boom.
Yeah. He just hitting a drum.
And then, speaking of awesome stuff, we're just gonna get into it. There's some cool spaceships in this movie. I love spaceships. I love Star Wars, so naturally, I pay attention. we got the dragonfly ones from the first one, which were shown off in this one as well. And then we get that mirrored ship that the Emperor brought in. That thing was pretty cool. They just
Was
like
it a
dropped
sphere?
it in. Yeah, it was like
It was like a
sphere.
Mayan castle.
You could like see the dunes like reflecting off of it. Like it was pretty sweet.
My favorites was the Slave One looking one that was
I
blasting
know.
away at
That
the.
was my next one. Boba Fett looking ships is next.
Yeah. Yep.
Whenever they're taking out the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely pulled some comparisons as well. I was like, Nick's gonna crush me here, but Boba Fett.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Slave One. There you go, Jake.
Both saw it. There was a. Okay, did the helicopter with the when they were like pulling up? Okay, it was the part when Batista's pulling up with the squad. He's really angry that they just blew up their last space or their spice base or whatever. Did those things have like it's another Star Wars reference because all of them look the same except for the one specific one that the main guy's in.
It's pretty similar.
He didn't have like a tail on his, and his was a little bit. I don't know if they're fluttering or not in that one. Were those still flutter guys?
Like, yeah. I think they were smaller on the outside. I thought about that like inherently, like I didn't like make the connection, but it was like Darth Vader and his like cooler TIE fighter.
Yeah,
than everyone else.
That's how you can tell like when they're coming in who's who.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
He definitely drew inspiration from Star Wars. I think his most.
So Dune is actually inspiration for Star Wars, and then they're returning the favor a little bit.
All right. Well, Denis Villeneuve was really inspired by like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Like, so he's like all in sci-fi.
Oh yeah, I bet.
He's such a sci-fi guy, and like I haven't seen Arrival. I need to watch it, but apparently it's like definitely like a top sci-fi film. So might have to check that one out. I think it has some pretty good actors in there, and I gotta watch Sicario too. I want to see if I can like draw some comparisons within his movies, because I haven't watched a lot of his films besides the original.
Oh, they're pretty good. They all have really good scale and they all have really good color.
Yeah.
When he takes on a project, it's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah. Jonathan's got a question.
All right, here we go.
Why do you let's start from the bottom. Why do you think Zendaya stayed back on Dune? Obviously, she was upset about the whole situation of him having to marry for the greater good, and I think she knows about some people that are still on the planet that she's trying to rally, and then potentially be the leader. This is just my prediction for what might happen potentially, but she's upset with Paul right now.
I think she is upset, but I also think she knows like this is what needs to happen for them to get in the situation they want to be in. I think it's
bro.
I think she's mad about it, but like
I think
Paul
war
knows. She's like she'll
war
know in
leads
time.
to more
like, that's
war.
what he
bro.
said.
Yeah.
He said she'll know.
I know
in time.
he saw, but like
because he can see everything.
Not
in the
always.
future, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we don't know if he's like always right now because he has that blue liquid in him. But like he wasn't right about a lot of the predictions. Obviously, that could change in the next movie, and he could be right. But I think war leads to more war, and she's like upset that he's like going like they protected the planet. That was like what she wanted to do. That's all her goal was.
Yeah.
And then to go off to another place and go try to like colonize somewhere else is like not the mission.
They taken off to somewhere green? Is that?
Yeah, bro. I think they were going back to his OG spot. They're going back to Paul's old stomping grounds.
I'm chilling back. Let's try to think who else is still hanging out.
Nobody's there, except the people I'm predicting that she like recruits. I'm assuming she's about to be like, bro. She's about to have all the spice she needs though. Like I don't know.
Oh,
maybe they send ships back and like she come there. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. So like they're on Green Planet,
let's talk
vibing out.
Here we go.
They're sending ships because they need spice to space travel. You know, feed the addiction. Everybody's got it. They come back. Zendaya's protecting that stuff with new gang.
She's still,
but she's the leader.
Taking down the spice.
Oh yeah, I think she's protecting her planet. Maybe even against Paul's group. Because she wants. I don't know. It's probably gonna feel like some kind of like. I'm just letting you know.
I don't think they used all the nukes either, so I don't know with the
But
plays.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to cut off Paul's hand and use it to open up the door. So that's gonna be tough.
Or the sister gets involved in a later movie.
Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna come out in this trilogy, but they're setting up some potential. Yeah.
That was kind of dumb.
What are your thoughts on the Ben Gesserit chick getting impregnated by Austin Butler's chick character? Okay,
Dude, we were talking about that. He was like super weak to the voice. Like he got like easily seduced. That kid's definitely gonna be an issue, not for Timmy, I don't think, but for his sister, the Anya Taylor-Joy chick in like a later movie. And let's say like,
bro, I feel like they're gonna pull a House of Dragon. Yeah, they're gonna pull a House of Dragon and just zip like 7 years in the future and be like,
they're
what?
gonna go to the future, and then
Maybe
she's
those
gonna
two
be
are gonna battle.
the actual Messiah. I think maybe the
bro, it's
little girl's like is the actual one.
So the mom of Paul has a baby.
Yeah.
That's basically the same age as the one that just got conceived.
Yeah, I know.
So those two are gonna butt heads.
That's
sure.
I already said that, but she might be the actual Messiah. Like Timmy thinks he's the Messiah. Like Paul thinks he is.
I think it was supposed to be a guy.
Maybe he
though.
actually is. I don't know.
I think it had to be a guy.
Could be. I know, but it could be a chick. It's 2024 out here.
I'm just talking about the prophecy, what it is. But yeah, hey, who knows? Maybe they go another direction with it.
There are many prospects for the prophet. Who do you think? Dude, Paul's mom is gonna be an issue in the next movie, 100%. That was like one of the first things we dived into. Like, her brain's getting a little out of whack, and when she raises that little kid to be like, the chick is definitely gonna be like a witch. She's definitely gonna be a witch.
She already got the juice in her. She's
already talking to the
she's
mom.
already she's already talking.
She doesn't even have a developed brain or body or anything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
You imagine she gets born and just doesn't even remember being like telepathically connected.
No. This baby's gonna be born with the juice in her veins already. So like she's gonna be all knowing like from the minute she's born. She's gonna be like almost like a MacGuffin or whatever, Jake, you said. Like, cause she's gonna have all this knowledge, and she's gonna be like this baby that like.
One thing I'm thinking about now.
This baby can like talk to people.
That daughter, the baby, is the one that told Paul that he was related to the Harkonnen leader, which also told the mom that was the case. And I'm confused why she's the one that knows and not the I don't know, bro.
I don't understand what you just said. All right, that's why the Fremen women were so scared.
How can you not?
That she was pregnant. Yeah. Because they were freaked out, and I was like, oh, the baby's going to die. And then, like, the baby's fine, but the baby is very altered.
Trying to figure out how that's going to, make its way in.
Yeah, that's definitely why the Fremen women were scared. I don't know where those Fremen women went, but, like, I think the mom potentially got rid of him pretty quickly after drinking the juice.
Trying to think if there's any red herrings in the story here.
Herrings? I don't think there is any.
We wouldn't know until the next one.
What's a red herring in like any other trilogy?
That Luke's father is Darth Vader, and we didn't know that. That's a reveal. It's not a red herring. There's red herrings, bro. Stories have that.
In what trilogy?
Not a trilogy. I couldn't name a trilogy. I'm just telling you.
Everything has meaning. There's no red herrings out here. Everything has mening.
Yeah, I don't know,
Whether
man.
it's like the character's like frame of mind. Like
you're talking like you know, bro.
I do know. Why would they show
You don't think that this daughter could be an unreliable narrator? Like telling him that he's got blood of this gene, like this, I don't know. He's got the blood of the Harkonnen. She's the one, she's like, bro, like, I know about your past and you're not going to like what you see. I'm just letting you know now. And then the
baby?
Yeah, the baby. That? The baby that
Jake,
was the girl from...
Jake. He took the juice of life. She learned about it. He learned about it. They both learned about it. It's separately. She's like,
Yeah,
I didn't know
man.
till I drank the juice of life. And then he was like,
That's the mom, though.
Okay.
I'm talking about the daughter. The
I know,
daughter
but-
is the one that told Paul.
it isn't.
Yeah, bro, the flashback.
Jake.
The flashback when the girl is...
Jonathan.
Ty, shut the hell up. It's
He was
literally...
by himself in the open. He was trying to figure out. Jake,
Bro,
maybe
there's
did not
literally, as soon as he drinks the drink, the girl from Queen's Gambit pulls up and is like, hey,
tell him. Yeah.
you're not going to like what I'm about to show you, but this is what it is.
Why would she
And
lie
then-
about that?
Because then it sends him in the direction to go become the fucking emperor because he has this blood in him. He thinks he's the man. That's like, yeah, bro. She could be messing with his psyche.
She's not unreliable.
I think he's gonna regret listening to the fucking voices.
She might be
bro.
like, I don't think she's lying about that, but she's definitely gonna be like, I think she could be bad. Like, I don't think she'll be like a good, like his buddy.
There's got to be a way to reverse the old blue juice. I feel like in the next
I'm
movie,
not getting in
he's
the
gonna
middle of
regret-
this. Yeah, dude, this guy. God, Herrings.
Hey,
All right,
they
Jake, let's
are
move
real,
on.
bro.
I know they're real. They're in books. Movies usually.
You don't think movies have a red herring?
one movie?
Bro, there's so many movies with red herrings. I couldn't name one.
Jake, name 10
Let me.
books.
All right,
Have
I'll
you
pull it
seen
up.
that meme?
Yeah, yeah. The Elon
Name
Musk
10
or something.
Name 10 movies. So like the guy who.
Dude, every whodunit ever has red herring.
Cool. This is an action sci-fi.
I know, but still.
Not a murder mystery whodunit.
Dude, there's been if you think about Game of Thrones, I'm talking about stuff like that where you think that somebody's gonna get into power and then it just I guess it's more of just like a subversion. Subversion.
It's not a red herring.
Okay.
It's okay.
Dude, but red herring, there is red herring. Could be a red herring. Like hypothetically, we're just gonna get into this. Hypothetically, if someone told somebody something, and then it makes the audience think something, but it's actually not that, that's a red herring, bro. It's pretty simple, right?
It's subverting expectations. That's completely different.
It's not.
Red herring is
completely
like.
different,
Red herring is like. This person is this person. And then they're actually not. Or like.
bro. No, that's not what red herring
Look
is.
up the definition of a red herring. Look it up. Look it up for me. Since
It's a
you're red
it's a
herring,
purposeful
You're-
device
Jake-
used by a director or writer to throw off the audience.
Is that what
That was
the-
my
the
own.
book-
That was
the
my
book-
own.
Is that the
you
book? Can you do the book definition? Because that
Yeah,
is
someone
subversion of expectations.
something intended to divert attention from a real problem
Someone,
or matter at
someone.
hand. Something intended to divert the attention of the
Alright.
real problem or matter at
Let's
hand.
go back to the visual art of this movie. They did an incredible job giving symbolic
Yeah.
representation
Yeah, Zoe
of
knows
different
what I'm
houses
talking about.
and
Not
who they
Job.
are as people. Here we go. Let's go. And yeah, this movie's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we got plenty of other stories to tell within this universe. And I think Denny, if he keeps dropping masterpieces like this, he'll continue to direct them. And I hope it doesn't turn into something like Star Wars, as long as
Yeah,
what do you
he'll be sticking around. He'll be sticking around for sure
Yeah.
for the trilogy.
think he'll do
You
like
think
a
he'll?
prequel or something after?
I feel like it's taken a long time for them to produce 2 movies, let
He's
alone
only
a
doing
third.
one more.
And
Okay.
yeah,
I'm
that's
kind of
all-
happy he's only doing that.
Yeah, we just need
And
to.
I hope
we're
I
not
hope
trying
it
to
stays
make
that way.
TV
I hope it stays
spin-offs.
that way. All right, then it'll definitely go to the future where the child's born. Definitely do that.
Yeah, this is like a book that they're trying to. The pacing was crazy in
Yeah,
this
I saw
movie.
that.
It actually did a good job though.
Sorry, I can't even.
You have anything else?
Yeah, a few more things. Do you want to give me the rating, Jake? What's your rating on this one? Hey, Jonathan, we got into a little bit of tired. It happens.
That's why we're talking on this. It's interesting
it's
to
good.
have that
Good.
conversation. You're trying
I'm
to get
not-
off of it
my
quickly. I'm
argument's
like,
not-
let me finish my sentence.
My argument's not that there isn't subversion of expectations, because that's what movies are.
That's what a red herring is. So
I don't know. I just didn't. I don't like your wording.
you don't like my idea? You don't
No,
like
it's
my
okay.
idea? I think it could happen.
No, I mean
Rating. Let's see. It's hard to like rank something highly when it's put in a trilogy. Like obviously Star Wars is an exception in my mind that I immediately think of, but
Yeah.
like this is the second movie of a series. I think it was really well done. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Thought it was
Four
nice.
five. Okay,
Yeah.
I said 4.7, just because you don't get a lot of theater experiences like that. Like this one's definitely gonna come back out. Like you'll be able to watch it on Netflix or something like that. But like this experience we got tonight, like you only come across that like once a year, couple times a year, like even like once every 5 years. I got a 4.7, and I even had it like potentially a 4.9 because I didn't want to like go to like the 5 mark or something like that, just because my brain hasn't fully taken
Yeah.
everything in yet, and I haven't seen like. I mean, we've had our takes, but I'm sure there's other takes on the internet that are pretty interesting.
I got a question for
Just
you.
about, yeah.
Compared to the first movie, do you think it was better in terms of enjoyment?
I'm gonna say this. I always like a first movie because it always like sets the tone for the trilogy. Like A New Hope and Star Wars. Like I love A New Hope. Like it's almost like A New Hope better than Empire Strikes Back, and I know that's a hot take,
That is a
but
hot take.
I know it's like I said I almost like it better. I don't
Yeah.
like it better, but like it's like really close, just because like that starts the magic.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's a tough question, but I'm probably gonna have to lean towards this one. It might be recency bias, but I remember walking out of the theater after the original Dune, and I wasn't as taken back as what after walking out after this one.
Yeah. I think the setup for Dune in the first one was awesome. But the way it ended made it a lesser movie. But that's what when you're saying like A New Hope was great, like they were able to like have a whole story and then have it like have a great ending as well. So like it felt
Yeah,
like a complete story. This is really like I feel like you're gonna have to ask me my rating after I watch all three movies because it's one big story
yeah.
that like
Like the
is
overarching story
continuous.
is,
It's
yeah,
pretty continuous. So, but I would say I like this one better because we're really starting to get into the nitty gritty of what the hell's going on and trying to figure out these characters. I liked the
yeah.
character development in this one.
And then one of my gripes on the original Dune is like people kind of say like it doesn't really have like the ending that they wanted. And this one kind of delivered in the ending. I feel like much more so than the first one. Um, like we actually got like a final battle, and we could kind of see like where everything was pointing. The first one's really just like setting the tone, showing us the world, showing us the characters, and then like Jonathan said, it's like this movie was really about character development. Like think about where Paul was at the beginning of this movie to where he was by the end of it. Like it's insane. Like just his character development over 2.5 hours. And I was like, dude, like most like TV shows can't accomplish this over like 5 episodes. We're doing this in one movie. Like it's super special to like
Yeah,
be able to tell a story like that and like have the audience be captivated by it and not
yeah,
like I feel like we got a good balance of like what Paul was doing versus what they were doing on the other side. Like you said, like kind of flipping from the black and white to the sand, or not the black and white, but like the dark to the light. Um, I felt like there was a good even uh, going back and forth,
I
but the
don't
bad
think there
guys weren't
was.
as good in this one. Honestly, the bad guys weren't as good.
They tried to establish how bad that guy was. That's like tall and fat.
Yeah,
Um, by like him killing his maids, but like that was like the only time we really saw him really crank it up.
get mad.
Uh,
Yeah, because
yeah, he was
in
like
that
such
first
a
movie, Jake.
badass in the first movie.
Yeah, dude, he's like making a cocoon on the ceiling, like surviving from like
Like you
poison.
were scared of him. I felt like they had so much to handle on the Paul side of
I
things that
think he
they
was like still recovering from the first one or something.
maybe. I think they had to focus so much on the Paul side of things that and then they had to create this new bad guy with Austin Butler's character that they didn't give that guy enough screen time. So by the time
Yeah,
uh, he showed up at the like his last scene there, yeah, I didn't really feel as fulfilled. Maybe it's just because it's been a while. I saw Dune like only a few weeks ago, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like you gotta make me hate this guy up until the point where you have him, cornered.
Yeah. All right, let's see what Jonathan said, and then we can start to wrap it up over here.
Given
Bro, when Paul silenced the head sisterhood chick and she fell backwards, that was a powerful moment. Yeah, it definitely was. He went from baby steps using his voice to being very authoritative. Yeah, what'd she say when that happened?
Called him an
She was like-
abomination.
She said, "Gee," like it was almost like
You hear me?
yeah,
Called me
abomination.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
he's a
like,
dude
"Holy
using the voice.
shit."
He's like, yeah, damn. I was like, bro.
Damn.
She's like, bro, guys should not be using this voice. Like, what the hell? Because he fucking put it down.
I want to see in the next movie. I want to see a lot more voice usage. I know the daughter's using it right now, but I want to like. That's like not the same, but like when they really like get mad and like, because it's
Yeah.
it's like the Force, like equivalent within this universe.
Yeah,
It's like a
it is.
Jedi mind trick, I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah, I'm curious how subtle it can be, or is it always just like you got to get loud so everybody around knows what the hell's going on, you know?
Yeah,
Like, there's no like sneaking into a patrol and being like, "Let me in," like, and then you only
Yeah.
talk to one guy, and then everybody's else like, "What the fuck?" And like, I don't think it'd work.
Well, that
But-
helicopter scene in the first one was awesome when he was like she was like telling each of them.
Oh yeah,
Jonathan, have a great night. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for interacting. You're the man.
thanks to the other
Hope you're doing
people
good.
that are in here too. Zoe, shout out potentially. If she's still
Zoe's
here.
in here? Is
I think
Aaron
she
in
was.
here?
She texted me. She was like trying to back me up on the
Oh, okay.
red herring stuff.
Just like red herrings, like murder mystery stuff. Oh, that hat was laying on the table. That's what I think of when I think of red herring.
No,
You know what I'm
red
saying?
herring can be a person, or it can be
I
a
know,
thing.
but my brain went to. That's my bad. I apologize. My brain went to. Oh, that his fedora was in the living room over there, but he set it down earlier, so it's nothing. That's red herring in my mind.
Yeah. So I was trying to say that the reliableness of the narrator, like it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it wasn't a narrator. But like,
I like
hey,
an unreliable narrator. That's always good. They love
Yeah.
that in screenwriting class and
yeah. There's definitely
English
a
class.
lot of ambiguity about if we should be vibing with Paul or not, walking out of
Yeah.
the theater. Like, I don't know if he's the same
yeah,
guy.
it's weird
But I
walking
like that
out. You're
part.
like, whose team am I on? Jake's on Zendaya's team, but like, who's? I'm rocking with Javier, bro. He's such a homie, dude. He is my
Dude,
favorite part of this movie.
He's such a servant now, though, bro.
He was glazing
like-
the whole movie, but like,
Yeah.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought his jokes were cool.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think Zendaya is about to pull out some unlikely squad members and hold down the fort. We'll see that.
Literally.
I'm excited for the next one. It's gonna be like 3 years. God damn.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a while. So we got to watch both of them back to back.
Nope.
But we start the day like you're going in at 7:30, like to watch the third one. You start the first one at like 10 a.m. Boom, watch it. Start the second one. Boom. Drive to the theater. Boom, finished it. It's like complete sequence in your brain. It's just all there. Just
Yeah, 'cause
intermissions.
They didn't do much recap,
Intermissions.
which I appreciated.
Zero
I'm glad
recap.
they didn't do
Zero
a recap.
Right into it.
It's like I love that we're just jumping straight into this.
Yeah, it was cool. I hope we jump straight in. I don't know if we'll jump straight into it again, but I like how there was like no time went by. We were right where we left off. But
Yeah, it was cool.
all right,
It was
Jake.
cool.
All right,
GG's,
Jake.
man.
GG's. Let me get real cringy real quick. Potentially.
Oh god, what's going on?
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure.
Nope.
Yeah.
Why don't you play some lo-fi? I didn't know we could play music behind it the whole
Yeah,
time.
no,
Good night, Eric. Love you, Eric.
Eric, I love you, Eric.
We
Thank
didn't
you for
forget
being
about
here,
you. I know Jonathan was talking
John,
to chat.
yeah, Eric, you're the day one. Don't forget it. Have a good night.
All right, good night.
Eric heard the music. He knew it was up.
Yep.
Eric
Hey,
knows.
sound cue, sound cue.
Hey. See y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.